Hi, I'm Jill Andrews, and this is the mask that I'm going to make today, and I'm going to give you the instructions. So this is our instructional video for making this specific mask. Okay, so first I'm going to take the face piece, and then this is the interface piece, and I'm going to line up my edges, line up my notches right here, like this. And then I'm going to do this first version on the serger. I'm going to serge the edge. I'm really not cutting anything off, maybe just, a couple of threads here and there. I'm going to serge it twice without cutting off this because it's a nice sturdy seam that will wash well. So there we go, that's what that looks like. I'm always stitching from the outside to the peak. Then I'm going to flip this guy over and I'm going to do the exact same thing on this side. The reason I'm stitching it to the peak is because that will make it sit closer to your face if we go up and over. Instead, we want to go up and up. So that is one of the tricks for a better fit, because we're going to work with the grain. All right, so once I have those two done, then I'm going to take these corners and line them up. So you see I'm lining up this corner with the corner of the face shield. And then I'm pinching it together so my notches are all lined up. Do the same thing here. Bring this notch down. So we're just making a pleat. And I'm going to put a pin in here to hold it. Although you got to be careful when you're using pins and sergers so that you don't serge the pin off and break your needle or your blade. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like before I serge. Now, when I serge this, like I said, I'm going to start from the corner, and I'm just going to do one pass. And then I'm going to do this corner. Just do one pass. So then it looks like this. This pleat always wants to be going up on the inside because that's going to be the pleat that gives it a better fit. Then I'm going to take this is the chin dart, and I am going to serge from the edge to the center of the dart. And then I'm going to do a little trick. I'm going to lift up my foot. I'm going to flip my piece over, and I'm going to come back down the other side so that we don't have any loose ends hiding here. You don't have to do that way, but it's kind of a cool little trick. You can do that without cutting. And so now I have all these little bits, and instead of having to take time to cut them off, what we're going to do is we're going to serge around the bottom edge. Making sure that we kind of pay attention to the curves. And serge all the way around. Serge off our little tail. So then your product will look like, your face mask will look just like this. So these little guys, we'll trim this and we'll trim this down. So it looks like this. So now you can just kind of squash that up. We're going to trim those little threads off, but you're going to put your thumbs in here so that you have your thumbs up in the corners here. Okay? And then you're going to poke those through. Just turn it right side out. Same thing with the little peak. And then you'll see you have this here. These seams will be a little forward. This is when you would probably want to iron it if you wanted to iron it, but you don't have to iron it. Okay, so that's this step. Now we're going to go over to the straight sew machine. Okay, now I am at the wonderful straight sew baby, and my stitches are kind of tight. They're not the invisible stitch, but definitely around a 2. So every machine's different, so you can kind of have a look and see how mine looks. Mine looks, it's nice. That's probably 7 per inch, 8 per inch. So now what I'm doing is I'm sewing the serging down. I'm just gonna go around, sew my serging. So that makes a nice little hem. Actually, it looks really nice in the gray, because then you can really see what I'm doing. Coming around the bend. Give it a nice little back stitch. I start all of my seams at the corner, just so that I can control where all the little threads are, so you don't want those sticking into your face. So that's what that looks like, a nice little hem. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to make the pockets for the cord for the twill tape. So I'm folding this, I'm rolling it all together so you see the seam on the edge, and then I'm going to fold that down at a 1/2 inch. You can see right here on my machine, I'm sewing it a 1/2 inch. And I'm just going to make sure that's nice and even. I backstitch at the bottom, and I backstitch so it comes up into here. So it gives it a nice clean finish, and the same thing here. Trim those threads. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Get your decent tools out. The world's dullest snippers, apparently. Okay, so this is the same thing. We're gonna make this, do the same thing, but I'm stitching from the bottom up on this one, so. And it's okay if your seam rolls a little bit. I always just like to stitch, we call that stitching in the ditch. It's a 1/2 inch, and there you go. Now we're ready to thread it with twill tape. Voila! There you have your sewn